Welcome to Tires Talk, ladies and gentlemen. Today is June the 16th, 2026. We're going to talk about Monday Night Raw because, ladies and gentlemen, we found out one half of the King of the Ring finals for the Night of Champions PLE. My nose is itchy now. I don't know why. Well, ladies and gentlemen, we got Monday Night Raw happen, and it looks like we got a heel turn. Because, ladies and gentlemen, let's talk about LA Knight. LA Knight has this problem with the Bloodline, because the Bloodline is back to normal now, back together. But this time they have Jacob Fatu as in their team as well, because of the Tribal Combat match. So now the Bloodline is back, and LA Knight thinks that they're going to go back to their normal selves and just make chaos in the WWE again. And he doesn't want that. So, ladies and gentlemen, he has a problem. And he has a problem with Jimmy and Jay because he teamed up with Jimmy and Jay at WrestleMania against the Vision. And now they're trying to be bullies. But Jimmy told Roman Reigns that he could handle it. So Jimmy Uso came out and he tried to talk to LA Knight. It's not working with LA Knight, so Jimmy got a little upset here. But Jey Uso came out. Because LA Knight is mad because Solo, remember, Jacob Fatu told Solo, come home, Roman wants you back. Solo said no, but Solo came to the King of the Ring tournament, Fatal 4-Way on SmackDown and helped. LA Knight thinks that Solo's trying to help Jay win when he did a Samoan Spike on him, but it looked like he tried to help Royce Keys win. But LA Knight thinks that Solo is trying to help Jey Uso win, and Jay did win the match. But Jey Uso came out and he says he won fair and square. And told LA Knight, you're not in the King of the Ring, I am, and all that stuff. And then a lot of things happened. LA Knight tried to hit Jey Uso. It didn't work out. Jimmy tried to stop these guys until Jay attacked. And then we had a brawl between LA Knight and Jey Uso with LA Knight doing punches on them. He was on top of Jay doing punches. And Jimmy super kicked LA Knight in the head to get him off of his brother. Uh-oh. And then Jey Uso runs and gets a chair and wants to hit LA Knight with the chair, but Jimmy stopped him. But it didn't work out because LA Knight did a reverse and starts whacking the Usos with the steel chair until Jacob Fatu comes out and saves the Usos. Well, ladies and gentlemen, let's talk about the beginning of Monday Night Raw. Let's talk about the beginning. We had the Bloodline coming out. A celebrity, Eric Andrew, was so hyped up in the beginning of the show, getting his props with the Bloodline and all that stuff. I'll tell you guys what happened at the end with Eric Andrew. But ladies and gentlemen, Roman came out. He wants everybody to acknowledge, but he still has a problem with the Usos and Jacob Fatu not liking each other. Because Jey Uso told Jacob Fatu to acknowledge them as well. But Roman had other ideas. Because he gave Jacob Fatu Ula Fala as well. It's not red like his. It looked like wood. I don't know, that's like level 1 Ula Fala. I don't know he's tribal chief. I don't think he is. But I think he's the second, the second best. Not like Roman Reigns. He still has to work for Roman Reigns. But he to tell the Usos what to do, I guess. And the Usos are not really happy about that, but they still acknowledge it. But when the Bloodline was about to leave, and Eric Andrew was getting his props with them, saying goodbyes, he accidentally touched the Ula Fala of Jacob Fatu. So Jacob Fatu grabs Eric Andrew, throws him over the barricade, and throws him back in the ring, and Lady Jody was about to do a splash onto Eric Andrew. You got Adam Pearce, you got a whole bunch of personnel trying to tell Jacob Fatu no. Roman told him no, until Roman told him do it. And Jacob Fatu did it. He splashed on this Eric Andrew guy. This is a guy that is going to, I think he's in a movie with John Cena. I believe so. I don't know if this is this year's movie or that was a different movie. I don't know. And then Roman told Jacob Fatu, do it again. And that's what he did. He did it again onto this Eric Andrews. So I'm guessing we got a heel Roman Reigns and the Bloodline is back as a heel. And it looks like Jacob Fatu is a bad guy as well. Well, ladies and gentlemen, we have other matches. We have matches here. We got the semifinals of the Queen of the Ring. We found the one half of the Queen of the Ring finals because on Friday we will find the other half when Charlotte Flair faces... Who won that match? Charlotte Flair faces Liv Morgan. And ladies and gentlemen, with the men's, we got Oba Femi and Dominic Mysterio on Raw. And we got on the men's on the other side. Who was the other? I don't even know who the other two was. Jey Uso and Jamal Evans. To find out who's going to be in the finals. And that will happen on SmackDown. Two Raw guys facing each other on SmackDown. Not a lot of SmackDown guys been in the semifinals. Except for one, and that's Charlotte Flair. Well, ladies and gentlemen, semifinals. We got Io Sky versus Raquel Rodriguez. Pretty decent match. But the winner of that match was Io Sky and heading to the finals of the Queen of the Ring. Will we see Queen Io Sky and get a shot of the title at SummerSlam? Or will it be Charlotte Flair or Liv Morgan? Will Liv Morgan become a double champion? We have no idea. But ladies and gentlemen, we got Chad Gable versus Rusev because now Chad he respects the luchadors. And he did give Rey Mysterio his mask when he got it ripped off by Rusev and Ethan Page. I'm guessing Rusev and Ethan Page is a tag team because Ethan Page was in the corner of Rusev. Well, ladies and gentlemen, it was a pretty decent match. It was the first time ever, the first time since like 2 years since he was El Grande. This is the first time we saw Chad Gable in action, not in a mask, as Chad Gable, not El Grande. It was a pretty decent match, but ladies and gentlemen, the winner of that match was Chad Gable after a ankle lock and made Rusev tap out. Rusev is upset because every fan is yelling, "You tap out." But ladies and gentlemen, Rusev and Ethan Page attacked Chad Gable, making a statement until Rey Mysterio and Dragon Lee comes out and saves Chad Gable. And they shook hands, they hugged it out, and they raised Chad Gable's hands. His arms of victory. But ladies and gentlemen, we got everybody talking about Danhausen and his curse. Because he cursed the Knicks, and they were losing a lot, and now he uncursed them, and they won the championship, I believe. I know they won some trophy. So yeah, don't choke on the bone. So yeah, and then Liv Morgan comes out and acting weird. I don't know where we're getting to this. She had a Danhausen shirt on, and it looks like she was flirting with Danhausen. Danhausen doesn't know what flirting is because he takes a jar of teeth, kind of gross her out. But she says, "Can you curse Dominic's opponent?" But Danhausen has some things he wants: human monies, and he wants to be in the music video of Liv Morgan, and he wants all the lyrics about Danhausen, and he wants more money. Liv Morgan didn't want to do that, so she walked away. And he went back to work on his science to see who this who's this fella, this clone that he's making. Who's this Bighausen? Maybe we'll find that out sometime. I hope we find out sometime. We have Charlotte Flair versus Roxanne Perez. Because Charlotte Flair will be versing Roxanne Perez's tag team partner or teammate, Liv Morgan, in the finals of the tournament. But ladies and gentlemen, it was a pretty decent match, but the winner of that match was Charlotte Flair. I think we might see a little bit of breakup between Roxanne from the Judgment Day. Because Liv Morgan's not really listening to Roxanne Perez when she tries to talk. but Charlotte Flair gets the win. We have, ladies and gentlemen, we heard from Jamal Evans talking about the King of the Ring. He's what he's going to Jey Uso. We got the annoying guy makes his return to the WWE, but he's still injured. He has a arm. He has a sling on his arm, or a cast on his arm. Logan Paul comes out. Nobody cares because he's still injured, so he can't wrestle. So, ladies and gentlemen, Logan Paul told Javon Evans, "You're in the Vision." Javon said no, and he says, "I'm not asking, I'm demanding." And Javon still said no, and he says, "If you get in my face again, I will hurt you." And he says, and then he took his pants off and he had his ring gear on. He says he knows what is happening, and that's we're gonna have a match with Austin Theory. So we have a match with Austin Theory. Javon Evans wins the match by DQ after he's trying to do his OG cutter, and out of nowhere, here comes Braun Breaker spearing Javon Evans out of the air, and the Vision destroying Javon Evans until the Street Profits comes out. And ladies and gentlemen, yes, the Street Profits, Montez Ford comes out. He waves his partner in. Angelo Dawkins makes his return and attacks the Street Profits. And ladies and gentlemen, all that happened. But we heard that at Crown Jewel, not at Crown Jewel, right? No, not Crown Jewel. At Night of Champions, Seth Rollins issued a challenge to Braun Breaker to a steel cage match. We will see what happens in that steel cage match when it happens. We have our main event, Oba Femi versus Dominic Mysterio. Dominic tried everything. JD tried to get involved. He used the bell hammer. He tried everything to try to get rid of Oba Femi. But the winner of that match and going to the finals to face, we don't know who he's facing, Javon Evans or Jey Uso. That's on SmackDown. But Oba Femi is in the finals. And he called out Brock Lesnar. He thought Brock Lesnar would show up tonight, try to screw him out of the match, but he didn't. But he still has his sights on Brock Lesnar, and he has sights on the King of the Ring and SummerSlam. We will see what happens there. But if you guys enjoyed this video, hit the like button, leave a comment below, hit the subscribe button, hit that notification bell. And I will see you guys tomorrow for NXT results. And I hope you guys are ready for Father's Day. I thought Father's Day was on the 24th, but it's on the 21st. I got my dad his Father's Day gift. Just wait until the 21st. I hope everybody's ready for Father's Day. Some people won't celebrate it. Some people do. Because personals, I can't really talk about personal stuff. I don't talk about other people's personal stuff. I don't know what I'm talking about. But, yeah, other people has personal stuff and why they don't celebrate it. Sometimes they don't celebrate Mother's Day. So, yeah, that's all for today. Time's out. Bye.